Okay, so everyone is talking about AI, right? But you know who has a really different take on it? Billionaire investor Mark Cuban. And he's not talking about doom and gloom. Nope. He sees this massive, once-in-a-generation opportunity. And get this, it has absolutely nothing to do with the big Silicon Valley giants. So let's dig into his perspective.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? The one we're all kind of worried about. Is AI coming for my job? Are we all about to become obsolete? And look, it's a totally valid fear. But what if I told you that according to Mark Cuban, that's the completely wrong question to be asking? And there it is. Cuban's whole argument is that AI isn't the job killer everyone thinks it is. It's actually a job creator. It's opening up this whole new category of work. The trick, though, is you have to know where to look. And trust me, it's probably not where you're thinking. To really get a handle on this opportunity, first, we have to talk about a pretty huge problem. And it's a problem that the biggest players, the giant corporations, are facing right now. We're talking about a massive 95% problem.
Yep, you heard that right. 95%. Just let that number sink in for a second. It's huge. And what it represents is this colossal failure, this massive disconnect between what companies are spending and the results they're actually getting.
Because here's the crazy part. 95% of corporate AI pilot programs are having zero measurable impact on revenue. That's right, these companies are pouring billions of dollars into AI, but almost none of it is actually making them any money. It's like they bought the fanciest tool in the shed, but have no idea how to use it. And this is the heart of the issue. Some people are calling it the implementation gap. See, the problem isn't the AI itself. That stuff is incredibly powerful. The real problem is the application. It's about knowing how to take this amazing tech and actually weave it into the day-to-day stuff a business does to, make things better, faster, or cheaper. And that's where they're failing. So if the corporate giants are totally fumbling the ball, where's the real action? Where's the opportunity? Well, according to Cuban, it's with small businesses. That's where a whole new kind of gold rush is just getting started. I mean, just look at the difference. It's night and day, right? You've got the big corporations with these massive budgets, but they're getting no real results. They're slow, they're stuck in red tape. And then you have small and medium businesses. They don't have an AI budget, they're desperate for any little advantage they can get, and they're super nimble. They can make a change today and see the results tomorrow. And we're not talking about some tiny niche market here. This is massive. There are millions of these companies out there. We're talking about the local mechanic, the corner bakery, the manufacturing plant in your town. The real backbone of the economy. And guess what? They don't have a team of AI experts on staff. They're the ones who really desperately need a hand. So here's the big takeaway from Cuban's point of view. Stop chasing those dream jobs at Google or Microsoft. The real career-making, life-changing opportunity, it's with the local accounting firm down the street. It's with that regional distributor you drive past every day. Okay, I think we can all agree the opportunity is pretty clear. But the next question is, how do you actually do it? How do you grab this opportunity? Well, let's get into the practical step-by-step playbook for making it happen. It's a really simple 4-step plan. First, you just start playing around with the free tools. Just experiment. Get a feel for what they can do. Step 2, you get really good at prompting. That's the art of asking the AI the right questions to get amazing answers back. Third, you find those easy, quick wins for a business. And finally, and this is the most important part, you show. You don't just tell. You show them the actual results proving how valuable this really is. And look, getting started has literally never been easier or cheaper. We're talking about tools like Claude, Gemini, and the various GPT models. They are incredibly powerful, and they are free to use. You could start playing with them right now without spending a single penny. The barrier to entry is basically zero. Cuban makes this really great comparison. He says, this moment right now is just like the early days of the personal computer. Remember that? Back then, if you were the person who knew how to use a spreadsheet, you were like a wizard. You were invaluable. Well, the exact same thing is happening right now, but with AI. It's becoming a fundamental business skill. And you want to know what it takes to get there? 10 hours a week. That's it. That's Cuban's advice. Not some fancy degree, not an expensive certification, just 10 hours a week of dedicated, hands-on practice. That's all it takes to become the exact kind of person that these businesses are desperate to find. So, let's zoom out for a second. What does all this mean in the grand scheme of things? It means AI isn't just some fancy toy for the rich and powerful. It's actually becoming a force for something much, much bigger than that. Cuban has a great name for it. He calls AI the great democratizer. And when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. This incredibly sophisticated tech that used to require, a team of PhDs and a supercomputer is now available to literally anyone with an internet connection. It is leveling the playing field in a way we have just never seen before. And what this does is create this amazing win-win situation. If you're a business owner, you can finally get a real competitive edge without breaking the bank. And if you're an individual, this is your chance to turn some new skills into an incredible career, maybe as a freelance consultant, or even by starting your own business.
So let's bring this all full circle. Remember that crazy 95% statistic from the beginning? All those big companies that are failing with AI? Well, they're not just a cautionary tale. They are your future client list. Their massive problem is your massive untapped opportunity. So here's the bottom line. The real money, the real career-making opportunity is in that gap between just knowing about AI and knowing how to actually use it. This is one of those once-in-a-generation shifts. So the only real question left is, are you going to be the one to step up and close that gap?